Hello, guys. Welcome back. Part 3 with Alissa Butt. We are here to dive in. Let's just start off.
Good. Love when it does that.
You are ready. You're ready to go.
I'm ready. I'm tired, so I think I'm like a little delusional. Like we were texting about it last night, and then today I was like, "Girl, I just finished my run. I need like 5 more minutes."
It's okay.
So yeah, no, today was a track workout, so like more for practicing my speed. It's going well. It's very hard. I'm tired. I've ran every single day this week. Never done that before. Yeah, I have a little bit. I feel like delusional. So this is my
I get
second.
it.
And,
Okay, so I've always talked to people about this after, and maybe but after, whenever I was training for my little 10K,
go off.
I was like, what'd you say?
It's like go off 10K.
I know, period. I was running more than the 10K, so like my body would be like used to it, Afterwards, I'm not even kidding. I thought I was in a different dimension. Like after I ran, like no, like I'm not even kidding. Like, and I even Googled this because I was like, do I have like a medical condition? Because after I would run, like I would be pushing myself,
So real. It's so real.
I felt like I was in a dream. Is that normal? Like I felt like I was
Yeah.
like floating.
Yes, that happens. Like you literally get to a place where you almost like you leave your body, and it's literally like you're doing the motions and you're running so hard, and like it is a constant like battle with yourself. And I do this when I'm on my runs. I'm like, all right, Alyssa, like let's like how much do you have left in the tank, pretty much. And I know that if you can keep putting one foot in front of the other, don't stop it. Like you're gonna keep going. And then at that point, I'm like, I'm not in my body anymore. I'm like, I get to that point and I just have to like keep giving it all. And that's literally how it felt today, because I've never like incorporated speed workouts into like my marathon training, because last year was just my first one. So I was like, I don't even know if I can run 26 miles. Like, let's just start there. So now it's very interesting. I'm not really following a specific plan. I'm just incorporating more speed workouts and then still doing long runs on Saturdays, but I'm running every day this time. Like last year I was running 3 times a week. No, I'm just gonna fully send it and go every day.
Period. And we'll dive more into your fitness.
Let's go.
Okay, let's dive in. Poetry. We ended the part 2 with you. What is that? Is that like your little poetry book?
Oh, this is all my secrets, all my poetry.
Oh, that's the good stuff. Okay, so we ended the part 2 with you sharing one of your poems with us. And for you guys that don't know, Alissa, they write poetry and they are going to share to us some of their poetry. So I would love for us to jump in, and I want you to share. You can share one with me, and then I'll share one that I love, and then you can share your last one. Is that cool?
Yeah. I feel like I'm back in like 3rd grade when you have those like little groups and you read in front of your class because you like wrote a book or something.
It's the best. It's the best.
Okay, so this one's like pretty, just for context. It's obviously sad, I guess, in a way. I don't think it's sad because I'm writing about myself in the situation of feeling like you don't know me, like no one knows me, and feeling like everyone leaves pretty much. Like I feel like people have left my life and I'm just left with feeling like, oh, why do people always leave? So I kind of wrote it about that. So it's called You Don't Know Me. I think I'm the kind of person people fall for fast. Like I'm something simple, but they always leave. They think I'm safe. They think they know me until they realize I'm an ocean, not a puddle. That's when they run. What drew them in makes them feel like they're suffocating. I never mean to drown anyone, but somehow I always do. They never stay once to see how deep it goes. People always leave. So that was You Don't Know Me.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yes.
You're like, yes.
Again, it's writing about like these are some past um just personal like things that I've wanted to work on of like, oh, I feel like people always leave because like I love too hard or I just like it feels suffocating for them because I'm like so about them and I'm like, I just love you. I want to spend every second of you with you. And it feels like sometimes like, people just don't know how to deal with that or they're just not ready to deal with that or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, and then they leave and I'm like, why do people always leave? It's like, I know I love hard and I love deep and I love love. And that's literally why I write poetry because I feel like I can't express how I feel most of the time. So I write it in different ways, like this one, where I take my personal traumas or, whatever I'm going through or working on. And I'm like, okay, this is just what it feels like. It feels like I'm suffocating people and I need to like, Alyssa, chill out or whatever. But it's also can come from people who again don't know me at all like on social media like my presence on social media doesn't like match my personality like again if you know me but you don't until it's one of these moments where we had something or whatever it may be but yeah it's interesting to write about yourself and looking at it from a different perspective of I get it now like
Yeah.
these are the things I worked on, so it's easier to write about them now because I'm like, oh, my ego dropped, I went to therapy, like worked on the things that I desperately like told myself I was going to for so long. And now I'm like, you can still love hard. Um, but now you have like boundaries and you have incorporated things into your life where you can't live without now and like things that are important to you and just it's just cool to grow from even that. Like I wrote that in September. So now I'm like, whoa, that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, like the growth that you see from September to now. It's
Mm.
crazy. Honestly, like when people say time heals, it's like I agree with that, but I also believe that like time heals when you're putting in the work. Like
Mm.
time's not going to heal if you're just continuing to be in your head. I'm not I wouldn't say be in your head because it's okay to be in your head obviously when you're healing. But like continuing those habits, like the whole point of time is for you to work on it. And so I
100%. Like time, again, time can go on, but now I'm at a place where like, I can like sit with my sadness if I feel sad or whatever, or however I'm feeling. But I know that I have the tools and the resources and like the outlets now for myself to if I do feel that way, like I allow myself to feel that way, but then I still go do something to like counteract that, like help it. I go for runs now, I'm like happy, sad, depressed, and anxious, like I'm going for a run. And I know that's something that I need for myself now going forward with anything in life is I need to wake up and I need to go for a run. And that also makes every decision after my day so much easier when I do that. But it's just interesting to know that about myself now. And again, like allow myself to feel whatever I'm feeling, but still have worked on that enough to be able to get myself out the door and go on a run instead of sit in it like I used to.
so in your poem when you said and maybe I'm like not wording this word for word, but you said something like they always find out that I'm like an ocean or something like that. Did I word
Uh,
that right?
um, it's um, finding out that I'm an ocean, not a puddle. It's like, but they never stay long enough to know like how deep it goes. So like, like we all have our shit. And it kind of feels like, oh, but like no one has like seen deep enough to like see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you feel like they haven't.
Well, they have, but then they're like, oh, that's too much. I gotta go. You know? And that's fucking fine. Like that's life. Like that happens. And that is so respectable for other people to know their own boundaries of like, you know, I love you, I just can't do this. And it's like, oh my God. Like now it's cool to like also know that I have that for myself because again, for so long, for probably like 10 years of my life, it's felt like I have had zero boundaries because I'm such a people pleaser. And again, it's like, you know, past traumas, everything from childhood, all that shit that was just never like worked on, never even thought about. I would just try to keep myself as busy as I could so I didn't think about all the shit that I had to work on. And that does nothing because that just comes out in friendships, relationships, like in your family life, like everything. So um it just feels like I am always the one to stay for like I will see how deep it goes. I don't know if
Me
that's how,
too.
but
See how deep it goes.
that sounds weird, but you picture it as an ocean. Like we don't know like 90% of that bitch, right? So I'm like, I'll go there with you. Like, let's go. I'll
Totally.
go there. And I'm still staying. I will
I,
be there.
I'm the
Uh,
same way, and I feel like in relationships,
yeah.
like that's what you're supposed to do, at least in my brain. It's like you are giving yourself to someone in a relationship, and so it is a part of the journey to learn every inch and every crevice and all the depths of this person. And I feel like when people dip out before they can see all of that, or they see all of it and it scares them, they're just not the right person. And it's like, yeah, no hard feelings to those people. It's like, yeah, it sucks because it's like, I wanted this to work. But it's also like, if those people don't want to go that length with you and like stay through like knowing all of your like depths and all of your secrets and all that stuff, then it's just not meant it's just not meant to be, you know?
Also interesting too, because like I am also someone who always puts myself in other people's shoes. Like in every situation, I'm like, okay, how would this person feel? And that's just like my personality in general. Like I, I'm an empath. Like I like to see another person's perspective on it. So it's also like if two people like aren't the best versions of themselves and they're going into something, you know, it honestly it's hard because it's speaking for myself of like not being the best version of myself in something is like I can't like I had to do that alone. So it's almost it's like it felt like right person wrong time in a period of my life sometimes and I'm like,
Do you believe in that?
"Oh my god.
Right
I do.
person, wrong time?
I mean, I do. I think um the universe is wild and life is crazy and I just like we're so uncertain about everything. Like who's to say? Like I don't know. From like even college of like I could run into someone that I met in college. Like I always am like and we might have talked about this, but like leave the door unlocked type of person. Like I don't hold grudges. I don't anything. Like I have so much unconditional love for everyone that's been in my life and is still in my life. But I definitely believe in like the invisible string theory. I actually wrote a poem about that. I believe like what's meant to be will be in your life, whether that's like 10 years from now, 6 months from now, 3 weeks from now. Like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Um, but yeah, regarding like just being not the best version of yourself in relationships, it could be something like that where again, like I needed to be alone to like get to the point where I am now. 100%. Like
Yeah.
it
I
it's interesting, but I think I don't know. That's why I love love. It's like it's so complicated. It's so complicated, but it's so beautiful. Like even Heartbreak, like it's beautiful. I mean, like to have honestly experienced a love that hard is beautiful. Like it's fucking sad, but it's like, oh my God, like you get to go on with your life at least to know, oh my God, like I love or even still love that person. If you have unconditional love, then you're gonna love them forever. So it's very like there's just so many layers to love. And I just I'm a sap. I'm a sap.
You're like, I can talk about this forever.
I really could. Like I love it. It's so fascinating to me.
No, it is. And it's cool that we can experience such a deep feeling. Like me and my partner, we went to this like crazy, it was like this crazy, I don't even know how to explain it. Have you ever been to like okay, my partner always makes fun of me when I say this word. I say theater. She's like, you should say theater. So, anyways, okay. Have you ever gone to like a theater that is like, it's like 360? It's like the screens are all around and it's like everywhere you look is a screen.
Is it like a
It's kind of like the Sphere in Las Vegas.
yeah, okay. No, I mean, I've been on the Avatar at Disney. That's so crazy.
I don't even know. Is that similar?
It's like it's more of like a no, probably not. Anyway,
Okay.
it's what I'm
Anyways,
thinking. It's like, oh my God, it's like the Avatar ride at Disney.
I'm jealous that you have gone on that ride though.
Right.
Isn't there like a whole Avatar world?
Yeah, it's the most amazing thing I've ever experienced in my life. Anyways,
Avatar? Oh my god.
yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, we can't go on. Sorry, guys, we're not talking about Avatar.
Moving on. Just know that Avatar. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Anyways, so God, now I'm like thinking about Avatar. I want to watch it right now. Okay, what was I saying?
Theater.
Oh,
Sorry,
yes,
theater.
theater. Yeah. So, I was talking about how love is so deep and like it's amazing that we can feel something this deep. Me and my partner, that was my point. We went to a theater that was like 360. It's like everywhere you look, it's like a screen. And you're like immersed in whatever is showing and it's really cool. It was like this experience where it dives into like the human brain and like the hormones that get like shot out whenever you're in love and like the hormones that get shot out whenever you're in pain and when you're having a heartbreak. And it talks about like the human experience and just how deep life is, but also talking about like you're on a floating rock in space. Like it's not really that deep, but the feelings that you feel are really deep. And it's just like it was
Yeah.
insane. And like the visuals.
Energy like that like that's why we feel so deeply about things. And I just it's insane because like it's something that you like can't explain, and if you're not talking to the right people they could look at you like you're crazy, right? But it is just like even soul connections, like when you like meet someone and you're like, I know you, like I literally know you, everything's easy, you talk for hours, like, and you just like know how that person is, you know, like how to help them in situation. It's like that feeling is insane, especially when you've again like met them. This is the first time you're meeting them, and all of a sudden you feel like you know them, and you like can't explain that. You're just like, I don't. I just feel it in my
Yeah, it's
soul.
like it's just a feeling.
It is beautiful to like feel your feelings.
It
And
is.
again, it's something that I've never allowed myself to do up until like a year ago. So it's like I can appreciate things differently, and I have a completely different outlook on life and how I show up for people and how I love people now because of running. Um, it has changed my life, and now I'm like I feel like literally a whole new bitch. I don't even know how to describe it. Like that, it just it's really nice to like feel balanced, I guess.
Totally. No, I know. I hear you. It's funny. I have sorry, we will move on to my poem, I promise.
See,
Um
this saying like you didn't even read your poem yet, and we're fucking.
no, literally. It's okay. I have a friend that has not ever, she's never had a heartbreak and
Oh my
I'm like
god, that
you I'm like it's crazy. Like
I just want to hug her neck.
I'm like, you are not ready. But
That's
it
so
it,
innocent.
it yeah, it's like they're and it's funny because they're still such empathetic, like it's she's such a empathetic human, like she still feels and she's still like, I don't even know. And it's kind of like what you said, like whenever you go through heartbreak, it kind of helps you like put yourself in people's shoes, or it just kind of helps you like have a different outlook on life, or just feel for people. Like whenever I have friends that are going through a heartbreak, I'm like, I know what you're feeling and I want to take this away from you because
You know that feeling. But again, it's like it's hard to it you can put yourself in the other person's shoes. I think after again, like you're working on these things and then you can see clearly for what the relationship was, and maybe it was terrible and you're like, no, don't want to. Or you can sit back and just be like, no, I actually like really respect everything that happened, depending on how it ended for some people. Like it depends on situations, but it's very beautiful to also again get to a point where you can put yourself into that other person's shoes and just be like, oh, like I know they loved me. Like I oh my god, I know they loved me. And it is probably really hard for them too to like have done that, because that's also really like tough to be the one to walk away. Like I've never been one to do that, so I can it like makes me scared to get to that realization, to be like, "Oh my god, like having to do something for yourself and then knowing that you're going to hurt someone that you love, like that sucks. That sucks." And that's also like, again, if everything's good and great, like, some people suck and don't have respect for people and like don't ever get that closure or X, Y, and Z. But the foundation, regardless, like that person loved you. For anyone going through a breakup, just want to, that person, like, they did love you. And it was probably really hard for them. So it's finding grace and like in situations like that, and just being like, I know what we had was beautiful. So it's kind of like you have to rewrite your script in your brain, pretty much. You
yeah,
just gotta
no, 100%. I think the hardest part of breakups is honestly afterwards, like obviously going through the breakup, like hello, that's obviously the worst. But I think mine is when I'm like, which I would like to preface, I'm not going through a heartbreak. I'm in a very happy relationship. I just am talking
Oh,
about I'm just talking about when I was. But I think the worst feeling is when you're like you're thinking about like what is the word? Like what could have been. I think that's what it is. And like, yeah.
mhm.
And you're just holding on to it and you're just like, I don't know. And then the self doubt afterwards. But I feel like,
Give yourself, like, you get to a point, again, this is all coming into like the things that you're going to be working on, right? Like you have to forgive yourself for not apologizing for that one fight, like all those little things that you spiral into, of like, oh my god, I should have done this differently, why didn't I work on this, why didn't I just XYZ. You play the blame game because you care, like you love that person and you're like, oh, but like, and you wanted to make it work. And it's, again, you have to give yourself grace, you have to forgive yourself, and you have to rewrite the script to put yourself in their position too, and just be like, they made that decision based off of them and what they need at this time. And it's also trying not to take things so personally, because everyone is looking out for themselves at the end of the day. No matter if you're in a relationship for 10 years, you're married for 50, you're just starting to date. At the end of the day, you only have yourself. And even in relationships, like that other person is going to look out for themselves. And, that's just, I don't know. Again, it depends on your situation and like what kind of breakup you got going on. But if it's something healthy, beautiful, then that's the best case scenario.
yeah.
Genuinely. Oh my
And I
god.
feel like, honestly, sorry, again, I will try to not rant, but I feel like being angry when someone breaks up with you is normal, because it's like in
God,
your brain, in your brain it wasn't an option. You know, in your brain you weren't thinking about it. So like when somebody has come to the conclusion that they want to break up with you, it's like how can they do that? Like how can their brain get to the point where they want to give up on us? And it's like one of those things where it's like
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like it's kind of like what you said, we have to give them grace as well, because it's like they're doing what they think is right for themselves, and it's sad that they don't think I'm good for them, or like, you know what I mean? But you
Me
know,
too. Of course. Of
yeah,
course.
like they're choosing what is right for them, and it's kind of like it's a heartbreak, you know, because it's someone not choosing you, and that's the literal like hardest thing in
Thing
life.
to wrap your, because also we as humans want to control. We want to
Mm.
control it, and when you can't control that, when that person's made up their mind and they're like that, that is like you're like no, like what do you mean? You're
No,
like
it's
wait,
like yeah,
no,
yeah,
come back the fuck.
yeah,
But
like hello.
no, it's like not having that control, which is also like really scary. But in the whole grand scheme of like, you know, the heartbreak and everything, again, it is beautiful, especially like when you get to that place and you can appreciate like some people, like your friends never had heartbreak. Okay, well, maybe some people don't ever experience like that sort of deep love in their life, and they just, you know, like some people don't experience some of these things, and like I feel like that's more like sad. Like I want to experience great love and I have, and it's like that's life. That's what's beautiful. It's like I don't know.
No,
That's like
I
we're
hear you.
on this planet to love humans. Like we're supposed to, and we're supposed to. And God, see, we you should read your poem because I was gonna go in the fucking direction
Okay,
of
okay,
Trump and you know loving people and how he doesn't. So, anyways, read your poem.
yes, okay. You're like, let's shut up. I made change after change on the road to perfection, but when I finally felt beautiful enough, their definition of beauty suddenly changed. What if there's no finish line, and in an attempt to keep up, I lose the gifts I was born with for a beauty so insecure it can't commit to itself? And then it has like a little dash and it says the lies that they sell. It's just about,
The lies that they sell is crazy.
yeah.
That's
I
deep.
I
That's
I know.
deep.
Rupee Car.
Girl. Oh, I love her so much.
Yeah, this one
Deep.
isn't, I mean, this one's deep, but it's not like, I mean, yeah, no, it's deep. Um
No, it's deep.
no, it's actually really deep. I feel like all throughout my life, like I feel like there's always that standard, you know, and it's like you got to get to this point. You have to get to this, like if you want to fit in, like you have to look this way, you have to do this, and it's like what it says, like what if I get to this point, and then it's like pretty much the beauty standards have changed. At least that's how I took the poem. That's how I interpreted it. And
Yeah.
I think pretty much what it's saying is like who the fuck cares? Like just
There is no standard. There's no rule book. There's no fucking anything that someone's handing you and being like, this is what you have to do.
in
Exactly.
society,
If you don't, you're a failure.
yep, in society can be so evil. And
Oh, don't we know it?
I've heard that like LA specifically, like people there can be so fucking shitty. And it's just like if you don't fit a certain thing, if you don't have enough followers, like it's you're just kind of like,
Mm.
you know? And honestly, like I'll be so honest right now.
Girl,
There's
be honest.
time I mean this is called Let's Be Honest. So, there's times whenever I reach out to people because I'm interested in them coming on my podcast, and I get nervous that they're gonna literally be like you've had on some cool people, but like you don't have enough followers. You know what I mean? And like there are people out there that have that mindset. Like I've literally had people be like, "No, like we are more interested in like podcasts that have this amount of following." And I'm like, "Okay." Like it's just like upsetting because it's like my views are great, And it's just like building the social media is like the part that I'm working on. And it's like, just take a
And that's hard.
chance.
And that takes time.
It
Again, I
does.
felt like, also wrote a poem about this, um, like the underdog of pretty much like, I feel like I've been playing defense pretty much like for so long. And I'm like, bitch, I want to play offense. I'm good at this offense, but no one's giving me a damn chance to play offense. Because of why? Oh, well, let's go back to the standards. Because XYZ, I don't look this, I'm they, them, I'm not she, her, he, him, I'm in the middle, right? And again, going back to like not feeling like you fit in sometimes. And that's just like what it feels like sometimes in the social media space too. Cause I'm like, I'm capable of doing everything that these people are doing that have more followers than me. And it has nothing to do with you. One, it's the algorithm. It's just, it's tough. Like being on social media and doing all this is really hard. And a lot of people like think it's so easy. It's fucking hard. You're putting your entire existence online. You're being the most vulnerable self. You're shedding everything. You're pretty much like ass naked on the internet. Like you got no personal space, nothing. You're showing everything to everyone and you're opening up these doors for opinions that could be really hurtful to you. And it sucks to feel like the underdog or feel like no one takes you seriously or like no one's giving you a chance because I don't have XYZ followers. And it's like, okay, well, that's like not my fault, but like I'm telling you that I can do it if you just give me like one chance, like would be great.
Exactly.
Um, and it sucks because like you're gonna hear so many no's before you get that like one yes from someone, a brand or company, whatever it is. Until that whoever gives you that chance and says yes, and then all the others are gonna be like, damn, wish I did that, and then, or I wish I had them, or I wish I worked with them. And you're gonna be like, yeah, well,
F off. Period.
anyway. So I
Okay.
get it
You're
though. It's frustrating.
yeah, no, yeah. I get it. We can talk about this forever, but I'm gonna try to stop myself. So now your turn. You give me one more
Okay, this one's about me too. Another perspective.
period.
I actually think I have shared this one on, I think Snapchat before, but I've never read it out loud. So if anyone hasn't seen it, this is also from September. Clearly, I was going through a awakening with talking about my shit. This one's called Pomegranates. This is some people's fan favorite. Pomegranates spill their secrets in stained hands, a crimson burst, each seed a universe of sweetness, sticky, stubborn, worth the curse. Isn't it strange how they splatter, but you still tear them open wide? A mess, sure, but they don't mind it. There's beauty in what's kept inside. Maybe I'm a little like that too, tangled up, imperfect, raw. But if you dare to peel the layers, you'll find I'm worth it after all. You know, that one's called Pomegranate. It pretty much kind of like piggybacks off of the first poem I wrote of just like, if you do stick around, I'm worth it. But like, yeah, like peel back the layers. Like, again, we all have our shit, you know? Like, I'm a tangled mess. I'm like, it gets down to like, again, feeling like you know somebody's like soul of like, oh, I just know how, like who you are and everything about you differently than anyone else sees you, right? And this one is just like that's what it feels like of if you stick around and you like know all these things about me, I promise it's not scary. There's not that many demons down there, I promise. But yeah, it's pomegranates. Like they're messy as shit and they stain everything. And it's like, I'm like that. I'm gonna link you on. I'm gonna stain your shit. You're never gonna forget me. I'm gonna be there. And yeah, you still again, like you still buy the pomegranates because they're so good, right? They're so good, but they're fucking messy. And that's how I feel. I'm like, well, maybe I'm a little like that too. Like I'm so good, but I'm messy. As
So
is everyone. So
when you say like you're messy, like you obviously, I'm assuming you don't mean like messy in like a messy way, like messy.
hell no. I'm a Cancer. Like not in that messy. Messy of just like my emotions or just like the shit that I'm going through or my trauma or my baggage that everyone has, right? Like um which again, I feel like I've emphasized like my things so much where they're like not that serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're just normal like human feelings that we go through or like situations or traumas and like I feel like I've just like felt like mine have are so much worse than everyone else's because again the feeling of like everyone leaves. It's like wait, why? But like my what do you mean? Like it
Yeah.
almost feels like I self-sabotage a lot because I always felt like I don't deserve this or I don't deserve this person. Like that's a big thing. Um so I'm messy of like with myself and letting like all of that come out without working on it, but it's like I promise you just stick around, it'll get better and it's really good.
That's
um
funny. No,
kind of yeah, I
no,
love it.
I get that. I was with a dude, ew,
Oh
in
boy.
yeah, in high school. So it was a long time ago, and we were together for a little bit, and
Mhm,
he ended up like dipping out. And
mhm,
at the time, of course, that was like my first ever heartbreak, and I was like, "Oh my god, like I'm not gonna survive." Like I literally was just like a mess, you know.
mhm.
Um, but like it took me because, of course, after the breakup, it was like why did he leave? Like why did this have to happen? Like I was a good girlfriend. I was doing this and that. And like literally the reason for him leaving was because he literally told me um I was still a senior in high school and he was going to college and he was going to Colorado Boulder and I'm still in Texas and I was like we can do long distance, like let's do it. And he pretty much told me like no, I want to party and I want to have sex with whoever I want to and I can't do that with you. And in that moment, of course, it was like, oh my God, like, should I just let him? Hello, like, what the heck? Like, should I just put down my boundaries and allow him to, because I just wanted to be with him, you know? And then I
I
started to think, like,
totally get that. I
yeah,
that's real. That's real.
it is. And it's so sad that my little brain was like going to allow myself to like stoop down to that level. But luckily I didn't. And I was like, all right, like I obviously I can't do that. And then when we broke up, it was like I started to like obviously self-doubt at times. I was like, well, I wonder like if I was more lenient, I shouldn't say lenient as if like I'm like controlling, but like, you know, if my boundary wasn't as strong with this, maybe he would have been open to like still being with me. And then like after a while, it was like,
You literally
no,
go to bat with yourself,
yeah. And
and it's because you love that person. It is something that you can't describe, and like when you again feel that, your boundaries don't exist. You will do anything for that person. You will, you know, like you literally will. So I
no,
fully get
literally.
the brain when of like, well, maybe if I just let him, I'm still be here though. Like that's it's so sad because like I understand. I feel you. I get it. I would have probably done the same thing. And it's a battle because it's like, oh, I don't have respect for myself or I don't have boundaries. But then I because I think of it like that too, where I'm like, why did I allow like XYZ? But it's like I've accepted that I have a huge heart. It's not that I don't respect myself or have boundaries. I think I just go to different lengths for people than other people do. Like it's for me at least. Like I'm not saying like, oh, I'm gonna go like allow someone to go cheat on me and like, hey, I'm gonna still be here. Like no, but like, and it also maybe it depends on the situation. Like, can we talk about it?
Can we come to an agreement that this will never happen again?
For real, like I do like I'm still that person to be like, all right, let's talk about it. Like what was the situation, XY. Like if that were to happen, like I'm just
Yeah.
saying, me knowing me, like I would sit down and like we would have a conversation about it. But like again, it just depends on the person. But I just feel like for me, like I go to, I guess you could say, extreme lengths for people because I just like I've accepted that like I if I believe in this relationship and like I know that you're a good person and I know that like we can work on shit whatever, then like that's different. But if you know like this person is genuinely like kind of a piece of shit and like you know it's not going to like be your forever type thing, there's a different story. I
But
guess like
sometimes it's hard to identify that it's not a forever thing whenever you're so
I know
invested.
you feel like that.
Mhm.
And it's hard too because like when you're in high school and stuff, like you feel like those people are your forever. Like you're
Oh yeah.
certain. But I don't know. It's so different for everyone. It's so
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. And my whole point was, I feel the same way that you felt as well, and you probably still do feel it a little bit, like, why do people leave? Because like him, for example, that was one, and then I dated a girl, my first ever girlfriend. You know how those are. The first ever girl breakup was
Yeah. Oh shit, dude. Those ones are tough.
I'm not kidding. It was horrible, and she ended
Yeah.
up leaving. The situation for that was like it had nothing to do with me, but of course, like in that moment, it was like, but what could I have done differently to make
You're
her stay?
You're like, no, no, no. It's me. It's me. It's me. Let me fix it.
Yeah,
Like you fight or
yeah,
flight.
like even if their reason is like diabolical and it's like, okay, that has nothing to do with me, I still am like, but if I would have done this, maybe she
You
wouldn't have, you know what I mean?
you go through a period of like torturing yourself because you think about all these things, and at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's something like these things are all out of our control. It's like we can think about it all day, every day, but it's not going to change anything right now. Like again, it's hard to take things personal, but again, it's putting yourself in like other people's shoes, like the best you can to also realize that like they're doing these things for themselves. And honestly, if he told you that in high school of like, nah, I want to go like party and do XYZ, like he's honest, like he was being honest of like, yo,
Alyssa, don't you dare stick up for him.
I'm not, but I'm saying I respect people who can like
Alyssa?
know their shit. Be like, yo, this isn't it. I want to
No.
do this.
No, and that's also
And
like,
who feel like I don't love you anymore. I just want to break up. Instead of him, like he could have said something else. Not every,
totally.
but like I'm just saying,
No, I hear you.
women relationships. It's. I would rather like be honest of like what's not working or like what is it? Why don't you
Yeah.
want to be? Instead of it just being yeah, bye, and you never hear from them again. You know what I mean? Like that's
There's so much unknown whenever it's like that. No.
unknown. Oh my god, that's different. Holy shit, that's a whole different ball game. Yeah, like that's tough.
Yeah, no,
That's
I hear you, and I was just giving you a hard time. Like I hear you. Like I appreciate. I didn't appreciate it right when it happened, but afterwards I was like, I do appreciate that he told me straight up why, because it makes it easier. Like of course it was still hard, but it made it easier for me to be like, okay, like that is his reason, and he actively was doing that when we broke up. So I was like, okay, you know?
you get like you just get what you get. Like someone telling you that, you're like, okay, shit, that really hurts. I'm gonna go cry for the next year, but like, respect. Like you told me the truth.
Yeah,
Like you get to a point where you're like, okay, I respect it.
totally. And
Maybe soon after, but like you will when somebody's
totally.
real.
And telling the truth can be so hard. So no, I hear you. There's a lot of respect for people that can do that. And it's honestly like, people, if you're listening, like just be honest. If you're thinking about breaking up with your partner, be honest. Don't I'm not
Yeah,
going to go on a rant. Anyways, just be honest.
just be honest and like always come from a place of love. Seriously, and not just relationships, friendships, family,
Friendships. Mhm.
animal, everything,
Animal.
everything. Like
Animal.
show, like
The
just
sharks.
always show for love. Okay. Oh my god, it's so crazy because I have a shark tooth necklace, and then this little guy is a heart, like a human, like a human
For
heart.
my
Yeah.
listeners,
So,
Alissa, they are showing us their shark tooth, and what is it next to it?
heart, like a
It's like,
human, like a actual heart, not like a heart,
oh,
but yeah,
I
shark
hear
tooth. And
you. That's okay.
the company actually is called Rat Betty. Rat. I'm a rat. I'm a fucking rat. I'm a
Oh my
rat.
god, it's you're gonna be reincarnated to a rat. I'm so happy for you. Fuck
Or
yes. You did say that you're a little rat in New York.
oh, I'm for sure a city rat. Yeah, I run the streets of New York. Literally
Period.
ran the streets of New York.
Literally.
I am officially a city rat. I have
Same.
the title city rat.
I feel like being a city rat would be like I would like if like reincarnation was real, I would want to be a city rat in New York. I think that'd be iconic. Or a bird. Okay, moving on. Hello guys.
Yep.
The inauguration. I want us to talk about this. We can't talk about it for long. We can't talk about it for too long, okay? So, the
Yeah,
inauguration.
it's like yeah, this is tough.
It's insane. So, he just got inaugurated the 20th, I think.
Yeah,
Um
Martin Luther King Day. Disrespectful as fuck, but whatever.
disrespectful as fuck, and he knew what he was doing. And I don't know, maybe like the inauguration's always on the fucking 20th of January. I don't know.
I don't care. It's
Yeah,
disrespectful. Fuck.
but he doesn't care. He doesn't care, and like I said this on my other episodes. We were talking about how the inauguration was on MLK Day, so I was like, let's talk about this. How do you feel about this? And she was like, yeah, it's just downright disrespectful. They knew what they were doing. And I was like, period. Like, I hear you. And she was like, but what's funny is like if Kamala was getting inaugurated, like I'd be fine
Hmm.
with it. Like it's the fact that
Yeah,
it's
100%.
it's literally Trump that's
Mhm.
literally against all minorities in this world. And I'm not like exaggerating when I say that.
Yeah, he's at fault for everything and all things. You
Oh,
break your dish, Trump's fault. Like everything is his fault. Everything.
everything is
I
his fault.
I feel like I'm gonna like disassociate from this part of the conversation because I'm speechless. I have so much to say. I don't know what to say. It's overwhelming. It's disgusting. It's sad. I'm scared. And
Scared.
I am still somebody who is privileged in a way because I'm white. And like, it's very interesting too because I'm like, now also like, apparently don't exist in this world because, only two genders. So not only do I not exist, but I still have some privilege because I'm white. And it's very like weird. And I am just again like feeling very overwhelmed and sad and scared. And not only is the world feeling like it's coming to an end because he exists and he is now in charge of this country, I could throw up saying that sentence. But also like California's like on fire and I blame him for it. And
Florida it was snowing in Florida.
I just I don't I'm scared. I'm scared of the Elon Musk salute. I'm scared of this country. I am just so sad for everybody.
Yeah. No, I hear you. It's
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 just
one of
insane.
those things, yeah, where I get overwhelmed, and people may think I'm like dramatic, but when the inauguration was going on, like I literally was crying. And I know, and like the people that want to say like Kinley, you're being dramatic, like sorry, you can respectfully, actually not respectfully, like totally fuck off because
Because
um
we care, people. Like we care about this planet. We care about everybody on this planet. We care about everything that you should care about as a human. And that's the problem is that we just are looked at as soft and we're dramatic and we need to toughen up and have thick skin and yada, yada, yada. I was told that my entire fucking life aside from Trumpville. But now it's like coming from both ends of like, I hear it from like my childhood and I'm hearing it from all these Republicans. And I'm like, I'm so over like it's just it's like at this point because it's also again going back to like how we as humans like want to control things and that's exactly what he's doing. is just taking control. This whole fucking thing is a game to him. It's a game. And he's fucking playing checkmate. And for some reason, we have allowed him to run again and to now have won. Like, I don't understand how we let that happen.
It makes me lose hope in America.
It does, because God forbid if you had a regular job, if you were him and you had a regular job, like if you were just a normal person who had a regular job and you were accused / did everything that he did at a regular job, your ass would be fired and you'd be never allowed to work anywhere ever again. And you would, your life would be over, right? Like,
and you'd be in jail. You would have to face the consequences. And
that's what I'm saying. And for some reason, we're like, he's got a lot of money. Let's let him fucking run again. Let's hide everything. Let's just fucking.
It's insane.
And he won. And now we have Hitler running our country. I don't know.
And like, that's not an exaggeration. It's not like, and the fact that there's some people trying to say that Elon didn't do the salute, like, that makes me so mad. And like, I will literally throw hands with, if I came into contact with someone that was a Trumpy and they said Elon didn't do the Hitler salute, I'd probably deck him right in the face and I'd get an assault charge. Hello.
What do you mean he didn't? Like, he literally, but he did. Like, he did. It's like he literally did the hand.
And he didn't just do it once.
There's evidence of like.
I know.
It's almost like you guys are all just. I'm gonna just start getting fucking mad because it's just so dumb. It's so dumb.
It is dumb. And there's some people using his autism. They're saying, well, he's autistic. Like he just gets awkward. And there's like, I see all these TikToks of people being like, I'm autistic and I would never in my life accidentally do the Hitler salute. Or like, I'm autistic. Okay, so let's say I decked you in the face one day. Oh, but I'm autistic. It's because I was autistic. Like, would you still be upset about that? And people were like, well, yeah, because like it's not an excuse. And they're like, okay, hello. Of course, since it's Trump and Elon, they can't like fucking correlate that. It's like it's a cult and it's scary. And like, I'm not kidding when I say me and my partner, we unfortunately, but fortunately, because we're very blessed, we just signed at like this apartment complex that's amazing, but shit's going down and I'm like, I really want to get the fuck out of here. Like, and I'm not saying that lightly. Like, I'm being so for real.
Oh, I know. Like, I'm on the next fucking flight out of here if like shit goes to, I swear to God, like, I'm so scared. Like,
it's
all
sad.
These people think that like none of these things were gonna happen. It's like, yes, like now I hope all of them at this point, because we have no control over what the fuck's going on. We're just gonna be like, well, we fucking told you so. Like, what? It's crazy because we just are always backed in a fucking corner. Like, it's for some reason our entire existence on this earth has just been under white men. And I don't know how it keeps happening. I don't know. How are they all not dead? What the fuck is going on? Like, they're so old. Like, oh my God, I'm sorry. It's unreal.
Deep breaths. No, I'm here with you. I'm here with you.
Like, it feels like a nightmare, honestly.
No, I know. And like all the mass deportation shit that's going on. And like they said that like ICE is now allowed to enter a school. I'm like, I want you guys to know, okay? If ICE were to try to enter my classroom.
Yeah, because you're a teacher.
Yeah. I would literally probably lose my job because I would not allow anything to happen. And I'm not trying to sound like a big shot because they're ICE and I probably can't do anything about it, but like I would fucking try.
Put me in, coach. I was born for this.
No, but like I would literally try, and like I'm obviously a kindergarten teacher, so like they're little, so I don't know if they're like going for the little ones, but like I hear that they're like taking the kids to like lure the parents to get pick them up so they could arrest
That's
the.
so sad.
It's so
So
fucked
sad.
up. It just shows how much America lacks empathy. It's like it's just fucking crazy.
I mean, you really, it's you're a person that has empathy and thinks about other people, or you're selfish and you don't fucking care about anyone else but yourself. And
Okay,
that could just
I wanted to share some resources real quick. So there is something called the Trevor Project. It provides crisis intervention and suicide prevention services to the LGBTQIA plus youth. And I'm focusing specifically on the LGBTQIA plus youth. So I just want to throw that out there. GLAAD, GLAAD, works to amplify the voice of the LGBTQIA plus community and offers resources for like media representation and advocacy. Trans Lifeline, a crisis hotline, and microgrants organization offering support for transgender people. The National Center for Transgender Equality, the NCTE, it provides resources and advocacy for transgender rights. That's a big one.
Mhm.
The LGBTQI plus community in general, like that's a big one, but specifically the transgender community. And lastly, obviously the local LGBTQI plus community centers. If you're in a city, you can look up your local LGBTQI plus community centers. They offer support groups, counseling, and other resources. These organizations provide support, advocacy, and resources to help navigate like any challenges that may arise due to the election. Let me
I
take a
also just want
drink.
to share, take a drink. I also just want to throw out there, like, if you, any of you need like some sort of comfort, like I'm here. Feel free to message me. Um, I just want to hug all of you, and I want to do what I can. So whether that's, yeah, you just need someone to talk to, I'm here. I check my messages every single day, and I'm always talking to you guys. So definitely feel free to reach out if you feel scared or sad or anxious or whatever you're feeling. Just know that I'm here, and my
Period.
DMs are open always.
Period. Period. Exactly. And I feel like a lot of influencers out there probably feel the same way, but you know, we can only speak for you. So that's great that your line is open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I this kind of ties into the election. Trump administration directs all federal diversity, equity, and inclusion staff be put on leave and plans to lay them off. So that's just one thing.
Yeah,
But he's
yeah.
also trying to like pass something where there's like you can be discriminated against based on your sexuality, race, gender, like you being protected for your sexuality. Like say you're gay, you're out and you're gay, or you're a minority, you know, like or whatever it is. There was an act, a bill, whatever it's called, that was passed where you can't be discriminated against. And he's trying to take it away. I don't know if he did already, but he's trying to
So
take that away. Like what in the what so
because again, it's all a game. He just wants to win and he wants to be in control of everything, especially everything that we care so deeply about. He just wants to take that control to be like, haha, you can't do anything about it. That's literally what he's doing in his head. Doesn't fucking care if he believes in it or not, or respects it or not. It doesn't matter because if it hurts us, that's why he's going to take it away.
and I literally posted something on my TikTok where like in the inauguration he said something about like we're a family, like I will fight for you, like we are one pretty much. And I was like I put out this TikTok that was like if you are not white, if you are a minority, if you are a part of the LGBTQI plus community, if you probably believe in anything other than religion or don't believe in anything at all, or if you believe in anything but Christianity, um or don't believe in anything at all, like he doesn't care about you, like he's not going to fight for you. So the fact that he's like telling people like we are one, like we're going to be closer than ever, it's like
Give a shit about his own fucking people. He doesn't care about any of you. He doesn't care about them. He literally does not care about you. Elon, he doesn't fucking care about you. Okay? Cool.
yeah.
Y'all are fucking twisted and this country's going to shit. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So Yeah. Okay. So the whole point of me bringing up the Trump and the discrimination thing in the workplace was our topic with discrimination in the workplace. So I think it was part one. I feel like that was forever ago. You talked about how you
Was
what'd you say?
I said it was forever ago.
It was. You talked about how you got signed or you were going to get signed.
Ugh. I was signed with this modeling agency that was very well known. If some of you may know, like it was in my bio at one point. Not gonna say it now, but very big. And I remember my manager, who also obviously worked with them, um, pretty much told me like when she left because she was like, this place is like really toxic. I can't do it. She felt the need to tell me of like, why she left. And it was because of one of the, I don't know, agents, I guess, there was pretty much like, well, first of all, they said my last name was unprofessional. And I was like, okay, well, I can't help that. Use my middle name. That's why it's in my Instagram. Like, first of all, okay, rude. Um,
Like I can't change that.
well, rude, but no. They were just pretty much saying that there's no spot for people like me specifically, because like I was, I guess, like they were doing a social media more specific like roster like under this modeling agency, and they were like, yeah, like there's no spot, like it's they only have men or women rosters, um and yeah, I mean, it's insane because I'm like, okay, so that so why'd you sign me? Like pretty much literally that. It was they wanted me for like the social media part, but like for under like their modeling section, it was like, yeah, there's just like there's no spot for them right now. And I know they were using she her pronouns because they were also like not using the right ones. So they just straight up like didn't respect me at all. Um
Like they
and it felt
actively knew your pronouns were they them and they just didn't give a fuck.
oh no, no, no. And like just a bunch of shit like that where my manager was like, yeah, so like no, I'm not gonna like I'm not staying here. Like you're one disrespecting like my talent, and you're just disrespecting an entire population in this fucking country, and it's so sad because it's like you don't even like know how to respond because you're just like, okay, like literally I that and I've never really like, at least I haven't been told like things like that before. So when I first heard that, I was like, oh shit, that probably explains like why I've heard so many no's in my life, or not my life, but like my career. Because the second I, I swear, like change my pronouns or like cut my hair or whatever, figured out myself, loved myself, God forbid, it was like, oh no, there's no spots for non-binary anyone like you, anyone that uses they them pronouns. We don't have room. Like there's nowhere for you. It's like what? And now, quite literally, we like don't exist up to Trump.
Ugh.
So it's scary because that like this is people's livelihood. Like they want to get jobs. They want to be humans just like all of you and have equality, but the all of this is just it's going to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately.
So you were
And
signed with them and did you specifically leave because of this situation?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I mean
was like,
as you
well,
should.
one, they're not going to push me for work. They're not going to fucking prioritize me. So why am I going to stay somewhere just because it's a good name and it's a big ass agency? Like, I'm just a number under hundreds of people that I'm going all the way to the fucking bottom of that because they don't have room for me. So why am I going to put myself in that position to, um, do a disservice to myself and not respect myself, and then also just I'm not again I'm not going to book jobs with them because they're not going to prioritize me. So what the fuck? Like,
That's so
sorry,
unfortunate
but
because I bet whenever they signed you, I bet you were like pumped cuz like I bet you were so excited. And so the fact that like it not that it was taken away from you because it wasn't obviously. Like you're like
no,
you shouldn't have to deal with someone like that or some or a company like that, whatever the fuck it's called, a management or whatever the
it's
fuck.
very real. It's very real. Like that type of environment, I feel like is just again, it's specifically with like bigger name brands
That's so
because
weird.
they're
You would think
so stuck in
bigger.
their way. They're so old school. Like they don't change anything. It's literally like fucking in and out menu. That menu has never changed from the second it opened, right?
It's,
Like when people and brands and companies like they're stuck in their ways and they know what works for them, clearly whatever they're doing is working and no one's questioning it because they can get away with it for now. But like times are changing, but also going backwards and
I was just about to say,
I don't know. Yeah, it's very confusing. And kind of like at a standstill for like me personally, it feels like because I'm just like
yeah. No,
know,
yeah. I
I
feel
don't
like
know if I'm
those
doing a job because I go by different pronouns or I don't look a certain way.
are there good agencies that are accepting and aren't like fucking
Yeah,
stuck in the night or 18 fucking
more, I
70s?
think more of like I guess like the boutique agencies where like they're smaller. But you have to like you kind of have to go like fishing. Like you got to go find them, and you're gonna go through probably a few to find one that respects you and loves you and cares for your well-being as like a human and like pushes for you and believes in you too. Like you want to have management that believes in you and like wants to see you succeed. And also because like they get paid if you get paid. So it's like, you know, so I think also for me it was like it was a dream, but then I kind of like again sitting with everything and now I'm like good at that. I'm like I think it was just like an ego thing. Like I just wanted to like prove to people that yeah, I could fucking sign with them. Watch me do it. And I did. And I think it was just like one of those like status things of like, oh wow, like
But
that's
I mean, it
cool.
is an accomplishment though.
Yeah, but I think it was just coming from a place, at least for me, where it was like,
No, I hear you.
okay, like that didn't equal success for me in my brain. I thought it would, but it didn't, and those things actually don't fucking matter. So,
They really
uh,
don't.
and they just didn't treat me well. So I was like, I
Well,
know my now. Bye, guys.
on to better things. So,
Yeah,
period. Okay. So I'm so sorry that happened to you. That's really unfortunate.
all good.
But yeah, like, it is what it is and we're moving forward. Better
You just
things are
got to
coming.
forward because also it's like, all right, that clearly wasn't meant for you. Like that,
Exactly.
maybe at that time for sure, but I think it taught you a lesson of like, maybe it was an ego thing and it was just a status and that's what you wanted. And it, like, okay, they
And
treated
good
you like,
for you. Good for you for dipping out, honestly. Like kind of like what you said, like it was kind of like an ego thing where you were like, heck yeah, like I got signed to this company. But it takes a lot to leave something that could be that big. You know what I mean? So like it takes a lot to leave
yeah.
something like that that could
Well,
potentially.
again, that kind of goes back to like putting yourself in the breakup position where like I was the one to leave. Um, which is interesting because that's also very hard to do, and it was hard to do because again, it's like it's just a name thing though. It's just a status thing. Like what would I have to prove really besides having it in my bio? Because
Yeah.
again, they don't care about me, so I'm not gonna be like booking jobs with them and like showing like proving it in that way. You know what I mean? It was just like, okay, what am I like this I'm doing myself a disservice and it's making me upset because I'm like, I would never allow someone close to me to treat me like this, so why am I just gonna let these people do that to me? Because like, what am I gaining from that? Nothing.
And that was a modeling agency.
Mm.
Have you
Yes.
signed with another one?
I have had, I still have one. Yeah. I've been with them for a few years now.
Oh,
This was
period.
just obviously a bigger scale and more for like, um, the social media part, which was great. But when they went to go like put me on their modeling roster, they were like, "No, there's no spot." I was like,
Yeah.
that's cool. And then they were just like saying shit about my last name and just like, I mean, again, like that, it was just a very toxic environment that I was like, yeah, so like, I'm just not gonna
Yeah.
put myself in an environment like that.
Yeah, you just didn't feel like you fit in. Like I wouldn't want to be somewhere that I didn't feel like I fit in either, especially if they're saying that my last name was inappropriate or whatever, or not professional. Like,
I'm
sorry.
professional. It's like,
So stupid.
okay, so use my middle name, but also like, you didn't have to say that. I can't help it. I've gotten it my whole life. I understand.
That's
Tough,
so
but like,
funny.
damn.
That's so funny. Well, as you know, I've talked to you and your manager whenever we were on the phone that one time about my situation. And
Mm,
I'm a teacher and I'm in Texas, so like that's unfortunate being in the LGBTQIA plus community in
yeah,
Texas and then also being a queer teacher in Texas.
that's
So yeah, long story short, um I have parents that first of all, there's so much to uncover, but I won't because I know we're short on time again. Um, they found my podcast. They hated it, obviously. They don't like that I'm, a queer human existing in this world, and they don't like that I'm talking to, you know, non-binary humans, transgender people, talking about their transition, talking about them getting top surgery or talking just about like having an OnlyFans girl on my podcast. Like they just don't like that stuff. And it's like as a I'm not a parent, but like I would understand if I was like somehow incorporating weird shit into my classroom, but like this is happening outside of the classroom, obviously. Like this is my life. I am passionate about this. I have things that I'm doing, and like, yeah, I'm talking to people and I'm cussing and I'm like talking about sex and sexuality and like,
yeah.
stuff like that. But it's like, your kids aren't listening to my podcast. You are. And you're old enough to listen to my podcast. So why is there a problem? You know what I mean? It's like, obviously, my podcast is not going to be kindergarten level. Like, hello, I'm not a kindergartner. I am a 25-year-old girl that wants to talk about sex. Because,
So
hello,
sex, big God, leave me alone. No, but like people like that genuinely just live in negativity. And if they don't agree or like something, they're gonna make it known. Like some people are just, they say everything that comes to their mind and like can't just let people
exist.
live their authentic lives and exist and just do what makes them happy, right? Like you're helping so many people by just talking and sharing resources and just doing everything that you do and you're existing. And it's like, who the fuck am I hurting? You're hurting me by telling me all the things that you're hurting. You know what I mean? It's like, uh, hello, what the hell is going on? They just wanted to congratulate me, like,
They're like,
how
they are
they're
speaking
like,
facts. Yeah.
but
That's
it's
so
seriously
funny.
like people just like to hear themselves speak. They live in negativity. They want to disagree with everything. They want to be on the opposite side. They want to have problems. They thrive off of shit like that. They don't know how to just let people exist and like they don't know how to just love someone as they are and who they are and what they do for a job, and it's like it honestly is just exhausting, like dealing with people, parents, like everything like that is like, can you go, like, are you bored? Like, can you literally go do something
A
else
lot of
instead
them
of
are stay-at-home moms too, and
exactly.
it's
So they find these things because they have nothing to do besides sitting on the couch and
looking me up.
finding something to cause a problem because that's what they thrive off of. They live in that, and that's so sad for them. And honestly, it's gross,
Yeah,
but
and for my listeners, like, because I think I've told you a little bit more, but the reason I know, because my listeners are probably like, well, how do you know that they found your podcast? It's because they looked me up and they found obviously my podcast, and then they sent it to my principal, my boss, and trying to get me in trouble. But I already told my principal, my boss, that I had a podcast. And the reason I had to tell, or I didn't have to, but the reason I felt the need to tell my principal that I had this podcast was because in the past I was reading a book, and this also goes into the fucking Trumpies. I'm thinking like these books need to be banned, and teachers are indoctrinating these kids and all this stuff. Like, it's crazy. But I read this book about a unicorn that lived under the ocean with a narwhal, and it thought it was a narwhal because they both had the horn, okay? And this unicorn was happy. He was just chilling. And then he got swept away to land. Then he realized, like, oh shit, there's unicorns. Like, maybe like I can fit in like with both people, like with both, you know what I mean? It was just all about inclusivity, the unicorn figuring out who he was, who she was. I don't know what gender. I don't know. They, maybe it was a they them. You never know. It's a non-binary unicorn. You never know. But God forbid. um
the unicorn in the stories.
but
Yeah,
anyways, and then at the end the unicorn was like, I can be whoever I want to be. And it was just all about inclusivity, loving yourself for your differences and like all that stuff. These parents took it to the extreme and said I was teaching the kids about being transgender. And they took me to the board. Like, I'm not kidding. I was sent to the board probably three.
Texas motherfucking bitches. Like these Texas moms living in their massive house. I'm not even gonna get into details, but like these mothers need to be put somewhere else. Like they need to just like
No.
they need to be in like a confined area because they're crazy. Like that is insane and goes back to how sad it must be to live in their world. And honestly, it's how sad it is to be them. Can you imagine being one of those moms that believes in everything that those mothers believe in and takes a children's book that a teacher is teaching them about a fucking narwhal and a unicorn and is trying to tell the principal that what you're doing is wrong?
And on top of that, there's more. No, I hear you. No, trust me, I hear you. Like, I hear you. I hear you.
Like
My
I could say some shit, but like it's not for the podcast.
You're like, it might get your podcast taken off. No, I hear you. And so yeah, I had to go to the board. My principal was on my side. She was like a ride or die. It was amazing. From like I had parents in my grade, but up to like senior, because I work at a charter school, and so it's from K to 12. I had like my whole school knew about me, whether it was these parents loving me or they didn't. Like, I was like this controversial topic, and it was just a lot. So there were parents that came to like get on my ass at this board meeting, but then I had a ton of parents show up that were on my side, and my principal was one of them. So anyways, that's why I had to preface that I had a podcast from the when I started, because I knew that these parents were already on the prowl. Like, they were already looking for something, and I was like, this is going to be the cherry on top for them. And so my principal knew. She was like, yeah, as long as you don't say where you work, like, you can talk about being a teacher, that's fine, but don't say where you work. And I'm like, period, I won't. And
I
yeah,
want to talk to these women. I want to talk to these
I have
moms.
their emails.
I want to come into your classroom and read that story to your class. I really do. I want to come read it, The Unicorn in the Narwhal, and I'm gonna invite all the mommies, and they're gonna sit their ass on the ground, and they're gonna listen to me read it to them.
Hey, let's do it.
Mommy,
I would love to. I would love
oh,
to.
I just want to talk to him. But anyways,
Just talk to him.
just want.
Yeah, so that is literally discrimination. Um and they also were trying to rate my podcast super bad. They like got a bunch of moms to rate it terribly and it went down to like 2 stars at one point.
Little bullies. This like feels like high school. It's actually like it's so sad, but you can't. You got to find the dark humor in it. Like you got to laugh about it. Like
Oh yeah.
again, imagine being one of these moms and like how depressing it is to live their life.
Oh
They're
totally.
miserable. They're miserable. They're sad, sad excuses for who they are. Like it's just gross. Like to do that is like that's some shit like you see in a movie. Where you're like,
No,
oh,
I'm telling you. Like and that's just like the little bit of it. Like there's so much more that happened. So,
yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it's crazy.
You keep doing it, girl. Keep doing you, and just keep shoving it in their face in like the most respectable, loving way of like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's like this is me. This is me. Don't know what to tell you. Yeah, and it is the dark humor where I'm like, they're obsessed with me. Like
No,
they
they're talking about you all the time. Like they're thinking about you, they're talking about you. Good
and it
press, bad press, still talking about you.
and it's like they're never gonna forget about me. Like I'm always gonna be that teacher that they hated.
It's my favorite line to say. Is like they're never gonna forget me.
Period. Okay, so yeah, period. Okay. Um I want us to kind of touch on your journey with social media. So can you remind us again how you started on social media and what made you want to start posting on social media? Wherever your first post was. Do you know what platform? Do you remember
It
what
was
platform?
Instagram. It was so random. It was so weird. Honestly, I feel like I manifested this entire life by accident from a very young age. And that's why I really like, I love and believe in manifesting, law of attraction, speaking things into existence. Love it. Have been doing it my whole life, but I just didn't realize it. And, from like age 10, like, and my siblings are like 10 years older than me. So I remember coming to California for the first time, pretty sure I was like 10. And we were just visiting schools with my sister and I was just like so in love with California. Like I was like, "Oh my god, I'm literally going to live here. I'm this is where I belong. Like this is where I felt like home." And I've always also just been the black sheep of the family where I've always like done things differently, thought differently, um looked differently. And so I just always knew that I never wanted a 9 to 5. Like that scared the fuck out of me. Like having that regular, like
Yeah,
bullet point
I
life of like
understand.
picket fence, like you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, you settle down, you have kids, you have the white picket fence, you don't leave your hometown. Like that scared me beyond belief. Like there's nothing wrong with that at all. That was never me. Like that
Yeah.
was never meant for me. That was not written in the stars for me. That was not my story at all. I knew I had a story to tell and I knew that I was always infatuated with like entertainment. I always wanted to be on Disney Channel. I always wanted to like do all these things where I'm like, "Oh my god, it looks so cool. Like I want to do it." Um but I like, my whole life I was always been told I was too shy, I was timid, like I was very more reserved. Like I am more of an introvert. Um but also like as I've grown, I've realized that like I actually never really was. I think I was just like it was just like in the corner. I was like, "Hey guys, I'm just gonna observe back here." Um, and so pretty much like yeah, I just like I remember just being in school like doodling in my notebook of like California and like drawing palm trees and like imagining this life that I was gonna have in California. Like oh my god. And at this point, like I was still very young, like again, 10 years old. So I in my brain still think I like boys. And there was this one kid in my class who was from California, and he had bleach blonde, like, hair. He looked like a little surfer boy, and he was, again, from California. And I was like in love with him. I was like, oh, yep, we're getting married. Little did I know that, like, I just wanted to, like, look like him. I wanted to like be him. And it was very confusing for me. But anyways, like, I literally pictured my whole life with this person. Because he was from California, and I was like, oh my God, and he surfs, and like I just wanted his life, right? And so fast forward more, I wanted to go to college in California. But then my sister got pregnant and became like an aunt, uncle, whatever you want to call it. Again, there's no like name for that, which is interesting. But yeah, didn't do that. And then, but I still like knew. I was like, I know that's where my life is gonna be. And so fast forward, I'm in college, and then I study abroad. And again, like, I like never had like a following. Like, I had Tumblr, I had like a following on Tumblr, but like nothing crazy. Like, and I didn't have like a following on Instagram. Like, I was just like a normal like girl in high school, like nothing crazy. And I studied abroad, and then I remember, I mean, I was with, that's where I met one of my past partners. And the crazy thing is, all I posted one random fucking day, a picture of me with two coffees, which is still on brand. I love coffee. Two coffees, and the latte art was like the most unbelievable shit I've ever seen. It was the Duomo, like literally made of cinnamon and like foam, and then the other one was some picture from Italy or whatever. And I posted it. It was just like, my friend posted a picture of me, and I mean, took a picture of me with my two coffees, and I posted it. And I didn't have service unless I was at my apartment. So then going back to my apartment, I don't know, it had like 900 something likes, right? And I was like, that's great. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what is going on? I was like, Nicole, what is going on? Like, what's happening? And I think it just like landed on the Explorer page at that time. And it was just like one of those posts where it was like, it blew up for no reason. And then at that point too, I was starting to post more of like my relationship with that person, like on my Snapchat, or just like on Tumblr, or just like in my stories, like very casual. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. And then it started to just kind of like pop off, and people were like, oh my God, you should do the girlfriend tag, you should get on YouTube, you should do all these challenges with your girlfriend. And that was when all of the gays were on YouTube. All the couples. Lesbopia was on YouTube. That's where it started, folks. 2017. And we just did that, and then it kind of just did what it had to do. But it was like very just like organic. Like, I didn't try to have this life. I've wanted something along the lines of this, but I didn't think it would be this. And um then yeah, we were doing that. And then when we broke up, it was very much an interesting thing. Well, actually, no, in 2020, when COVID hit, I still had a 9 to 5, and I was doing all of this and like going to school, and like did it all pretty much. Like, the social media part was very much just like a side thing for us that we would like share. And then yeah, COVID hit. We moved to California in 2019. And I got laid off from my job. And then that's when I was like, I think I'm gonna, like, do this whole thing full time. Like, she still wanted like a job and didn't really want much part of the social media part anymore. And that's when things started to get like kind of tricky in our relationship, where our whole relationship pretty much was online, and it just began to feel like work. And we were like one person. Like, it was crazy. We would go out and be like, oh, where's so and so? And it's like, what? I can't like come hang out with my friends. Like, we're not one brain human, like it's tough to do that. And so yeah, I decided to like keep doing it full time. And then when we broke up, that was like a very like learning curve for me, because my whole following came from this relationship, and I was like, oh my god, I have to like rebrand myself. Like I have to take the walls down and like really have people start to get to know me, because like I was only posting like surface level cute fucking girly shit with my girlfriend, like perfect, like oh my god, we're so in love, yeah, fucking right, we were fighting 5 minutes ago, like you know what I mean. It was like very perfect, and it was just surface level shit that people were seeing, and it was like an aesthetic, and it was just like the thing, like people were following their favorite gay couple around that time. And yeah, when that all happened, it was tricky to like navigate. Oh my god, I'm going to start losing followers because all these people just came because I was in a relationship, and I had to rebrand myself. Like, oh my god, who am I? It was like, who the fuck am I? Like, what am I going to do next? What am I going to share? What am I, whatever. And that was really cool though, because obviously, you know, it being a public relationship, like people knew that we weren't together anymore. So it was not like a secret. And it was cool to be able to like share my journey, like moving forward without talking about it, because like I didn't owe anyone anything. And we were not going to be one of those couples that sat and made a YouTube video about why we broke up. That was just not going to happen. And, and um I made my own YouTube video about it. But again, that was for like my purpose to also just tell people like some shit you're just not gonna know. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is my shit, but like I'm gonna keep moving forward, and like we're gonna grow together, and we're gonna keep going. So yeah, it all kind of really happened by accident, and I've just been going with it for I don't know, 5, 6 years now. And it's really interesting, and it's really cool, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of, you know, the relationship parts of it. And it's like, nothing's a secret, but it's just more private. Like, I'm never going to go back to what it was in 2017 with my like first real relationship. Like, that was not going to happen, but it's inevitable. People are going to like find out. And like, again, you're putting your life online. It's kind of hard to, for you to not. Um, but it is like pulled back way more. And I feel like people have known that, you know, for a few years now, where it's like nothing's a secret, but like y'all need to chill. Like
Totally.
I'm keep things more under my control. And it just is safer that way for everyone. And it just feels better to like have something so sacred that you love to like not go blasting shit all over the place like I used to do like years ago of
So
like,
you, if you got back into a relationship anytime soon, you wouldn't make it super public?
no, oh my god, no. No.
Okay.
No. Again, it's not a secret, like, you know,
Yeah.
know you know type shit, but it's not, it's just gonna be more private, like it has been for the past few years. Like it's just, yeah, like,
What would you
yeah.
say some of the challenges were whenever your relationship was out in public? Like
I mean,
what
everyone's opinions.
yeah, everyone's opinions, yeah.
Everyone's got a lot of opinions. And then it just like, I don't know, it also feels better to know that like your relationship and like your job are like separate things, and when you put them together, like from 2017, like when we first started to do that, it was like, how is this going to end well? Like, we now feel like it's our job to be posting X, Y, and Z every single day, even if we're having a bad day, even if we got into a really bad fight. Um, all of these things, right? Like you just feel like you have to be doing these things because you owe that to people, right? And it's like, no, you don't owe anything to anyone. But our relationship, there's nothing private about it. Everybody knows everything. Like, and like that's not healthy. Like that's just not like keeping some things for yourself in a just having boundaries. You like share what you want to share, of course, but it's like when you do online and your whole life is online, it's way nicer to keep things a little bit more private, because you're sharing every single other aspect, and it's like you don't need other people's fucking voices and opinions coming into your relationship trying to tell you what to do, or why is she with you because you look like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all of these, like, you just don't need that.
Or it's like,
You need,
in this
they
video.
try to leave it because it's inevitable. So
Yeah, and I
I don't
feel like they overanalyze everything. Like, they could be like, Alyssa, like, they seemed off in this video, and are they
know.
like upset at their girlfriend? You know, it's just like, it's just like
Well,
stupid.
that's what I'm saying. It's like everything online, everyone has to take with a grain of salt. You have no idea what people are going through while they're posting it, what happened 10 minutes ago before they posted it, after it. Like, you don't know anything.
Yeah,
Like, it goes back to, like, you don't know me. It's like anything that you see on social media is it's not fake. I mean, it can be, but like, my God, just take it with a grain of salt, because we're all trying to put our, like, greatest moments out there. People are like fucking piranhas. They want to take, 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 take. They want it. If you're not posting enough of that, they're going to either unfollow you, or they're going to be like, where is X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. And then it starts to become less about you, you know? And that's kind of how it felt like in the beginning of that in 2017. Like, you literally start to like lose yourself. I think that's around the time like I genuinely was like losing myself, because we were forming one identity, and it was like, I don't have anything separate from this. Like, you were my whole fucking page. We have a YouTube channel. We're doing brand deals together. Like, there was nothing, there was no secrets. There was nothing at the end of the day for us to like
yeah,
talk about, like, every, you know what I mean? It was almost like, it was very interesting. And that's how it can get when you start to post like only couples things, or just a lot of it. When you start to show more, people want more of it, and that's just what it is. And then people are only going to start following you because you're with that person, and then when you're not, it's like,
yeah.
oh well, wait, like, where are you going? Like, give me a chance.
What impact do you hope to have on your followers and the like broader community? Like, what are you wanting to put out into this world?
So many things, besides like the positivity, the love, the all that. I really am just like, I want to inspire people to feel good about themselves and in their body. I want them to feel comfortable with who they are, like, be their authentic selves. Like, I want them to really like feel empowered. And um I want whatever I'm posting and sharing, like, I hope people resonate with, like, especially like the gym content and the running and like all these things. I go to the gym because I want to feel strong and empowered, and I want to feel good in my body as being, non-binary, they, them. Like, it makes me feel like I want that aesthetic body. Like, I want to feel good in it, because I also have a lot of body issues, and I want to try and inspire people to go out and try something new, like move your body, love yourself, love who you are, and seriously, like, trust in who you are too, because I want people to feel so good about themselves that they don't need anyone or anything to like tell them that. I think for me, like, speaking of breaking walls down and like really getting to the root of a lot of things, where I'm like, I feel like my reasoning behind a lot of things, like in my past, where I'm like, I'm just doing it for the wrong reasons. I'm doing it because I'm trying to prove it to other people. And why? Like, for what? Like, I want to be proud of myself. Like, I want people to be proud of themselves. I want like all these little things, like I was saying about the modeling agency and like all of the things that I thought were going to be equivalent to success for me. It's like not actually. Literally a 4 mile run for me is what I think of like success, where I'm like, hell yeah, like I did something that was hard, and something that I didn't want to do, and I did it. And I want people to do the hard things, because that's where you're going to feel the most successful and the most uplifting, and just like feel so fucking good about yourself. Like you're going to feel so euphoric when you do something that's hard and you're like, oh, I can't believe I did that. I just want people to do hard things and love on themselves, and not to ramble on, but that's just like what I feel like I want people to feel like. And what I want to like contribute to my community is just like, I'm your comfort blanket. Like, let's hug, but then let's go lift weights. Let's go make you feel good. Like let's go do something that's going to fucking empower you, because you're that bitch and you're hot. And I want just people to feel good about themselves. And I don't want people to be scared of being who they are. And I know it's scary, but again, like that's why what I want people to also share. And also like go after your dreams. Like again, with being discriminated in the modeling agency, it's like exactly that. Like don't keep holding yourself back because these brands or these jobs or these people are going to be mean and they're going to be disrespectful for you. You're going to encounter that so many times in your life. And that's why you just like keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you're just like, fine, that's fine. Like I want them to feel so confident in themselves to be like, where you can walk away and just be like, I'm better than that. I know who I am. Like, fuck off.
Period.
Pretty much.
Period.
Like I want people to feel good about themselves,
Yeah. No, I
because
feel
I
that.
know what to not. So yeah. And I also just want people to like, on the love aspect of, because I'm a sap, I just want people to really love on themselves and like love others and show up better for people and out of love. Like never. And I know we're not perfect. Like we're going to have our moments where like you're going to snap at someone. That's not what I'm saying. It's just at the end of the day, it's knowing that you're showing up for yourself first and loving on yourself before anything else. So, and just love, just feel it.
You're such a little teddy bear.
Damn, I know, I know. Disgusting. I love
Okay, so you were kind of talking about um hello, where did my brain go? You were talking about how like, working out and everything. That is like what you do to make yourself feel good
my
and
breath.
get out of
Yeah.
funks. Yeah, stuff like that. So, my question would be, what do you like more? Cardio or weightlifting? Because I know you have like this thing you're doing. It's 75 hard, right? That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Is that
It's honestly not like any different than what I do on a normal day to day. Like I've been doing it for forever. Like it is just like my routine, but I think putting like a title on something sometimes like makes me work harder. It like does something into my
yeah.
brain where like, okay, so this is what it is, and this is you're going to go harder at it because it's something more specific, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it,
No,
but
I get it.
um I can definitely say I love lifting more. Like don't get me wrong. I'm a runner now. I run, but it God does that not mean that I absolutely loathe having to run every day. Like I wake up and I'm like, fuck, I got to do this again.
It's amazing that you still get up and do it though.
Amazing, because then I know how to like again rewrite the script where I'm like, I don't have to, Alyssa, but I get to. And you know the feeling of what you're gonna feel like after. And it's only X amount of time out of your day that you're gonna feel like this, right? Like you feel physical pain and you're winded. Okay, it's only gonna last 30, 40, whatever minutes. Like you like do the hard shit. That's what I'm saying. Like do the hard shit because it's so fucking rewarding after. And we just get so comfortable that we just keep going and we make excuses of like, oh no, like I'll go later tonight because I'm just like, I need to eat my breakfast first. I got to do all this. Like you will find so many things to talk yourself out of something that you do not want to fucking do, that you don't want to do. And I don't ever like really feel like that with lifting. I feel like lifting is different because it's like shaping my body the way that like makes me feel euphoric and good and like really good about being in this body and living in it. And there is no better feeling being in a gym with mostly all men all the time and like taking off your sweatshirt or whatever and you're wearing a tank top and you're like lifting just as heavy as these fucking men in the gym and you're like, yeah, yup, I can fucking lift more than you, bitch. Or it's like, it feels so empowering. And like, I feel the most myself and the most confident when I'm at the gym. Like, oh my God, I walk around there like I own the damn place. I'm like, oh my God, it's incredible. It's like, there's no better feeling than like being able to lift heavy. And it's just, you just gain this sense of confidence that I can't describe. And then that becomes just addicting and you want to be better. And then you're like, well, I want to keep growing. I want to keep getting better at this. Or you just start tweaking things too. And you start, lifting heavier if things become too easy or whatever it is. But that's just like the really cool thing about like the fitness space is like, there's no right or wrong way to be moving your body or doing something. It's like find those little things that you like to do. You like to cycle for 3 hours, that's cool. I don't. Absolutely hate the bike. Hurts my ass. Makes it go numb. Terrible. But if you like it, like so many people in my life love the bike and I'm like, great, I'm going to go for a run. Like
Yeah.
you find what makes you feel good and I love that about the gym. But I know it's like it can be really scary for people who have like never gone by themselves and they have like no idea what they're doing. I try to recruit all my friends to come lift with me and they're like, oh, listen, no. I'm like, why do you guys all think that I'm just gonna like kill you? Like, I want to just work out. I want to just lift there. This is what I'm saying. Like no one wants to run with me and no one wants to work out with me because they are intimidated by like what I do. And I feel like it's crazy because I'm like, I don't feel like what I'm doing is crazy. I
Oh,
feel
you're
like
funny.
I feel like I could be doing more. Like I don't feel like it's
I think that's
wild.
the intimidating part of it though, is that they don't want to come with you. And then you like, I don't know, like you have to like not push yourself as much as you would because you're with someone that maybe can't go to like the extent that you can. Like, I mean,
I understand their perspective of that, but I always make people comfortable enough of like I'm literally not going to harm you. You follow my workout and you're gonna like we're gonna work out together, like lift what you can comfortably lift at X amount. Like I'm not gonna say you have to get 45 pounds and do 3 sets of I'm not a drill sergeant, okay. I'm also not a dictator. Trumpies. Um, I'm just here to have a good time with my friends and just lift and like run but I get the people not wanting to run thing. I get it. I get it. It's hard.
see, it's
But
like
great.
it's the same way with my partner. Like I'm good at running. I can run for a good amount of time. My partner is more of like a weights girly. Like she
Yeah.
is a little muscle mommy. Like she can do the damn thing. And so
I said Mia and your partner should go to the gym together. And then we'll go on a run.
there you go. When we come to LA, you and my partner can go to the gym.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. I'm so serious. I'm so serious.
Period.
But it is really cool though. And then I just it is like it feels like my whole identity. Like I'm always in gym clothes. I'm always at the gym. Anytime anyone calls me, my dad always makes fun of me for it. He's like, every time I call you, you're leaving the gym, you're at the gym, or you're going to the gym. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, it is like also 90% of my job. Like,
Yeah.
it is my livelihood and I can't live without it.
Yeah, because you make content when you're there.
Sometimes, yeah. Most of the time. But also just like those are the little like outlets that I have for myself that I know that I need that every day. I need to exercise every day. I need to go on a run. I don't need to like lift something, but I need to do something with my body. Like I need to like rock climb, for a walk, go like anything. Like I just need to be doing something like that because that's what I know. I know that for myself and that's what I need.
Yeah, you're just an active little chicken nugget.
Just an active chicken nugget.
You're like chicken nugget. Okay. I call my kids that all the time.
Active veggie chicken nugget.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, speaking of veggie chicken nuggets, I will not go on a rant, I promise. But you have to try these veggie chicken nuggets. They're called, the brand is like Jack and Annie's, I think. And I'm telling you, they taste they taste like
Come on, Clav, let's shout them out. Jack and Annie, come on.
sponsor me,
Come on.
please. No, but they're so good. They're so good and they taste like chicken. They're made out of hello, what is it called? It's a mushroom, but I forgot what it's called. I'm like totally blanking out right now. Anyways, I'll send it to you, but it's, oh my god. I know you probably don't eat like a lot of processed food and stuff like that, but you're gonna have to try it. You're gonna have to eat some processed food because you have to try this.
I'm down. I will try it for you.
Okay. And you gotta put it in the air fryer because it makes it crispy.
Oh my god. Fucking love my air fryer deal.
Okay. Because when you put it in the microwave, it makes it soggy.
Yeah, they're like rubbery. It's like, no, I don't know.
Exactly. Okay.
I get it.
Okay, so we're at the end of our episode. 2 hours. 2 hours.
Just so everyone knows, we have the longest conversations every single time.
So
every time we're like, we're gonna do better at the next one.
We're like, we're not gonna rant next time. We're gonna be organized, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this little game that I have, and it's a game. Not really. It's me actually putting you on the spot and me asking you questions. Okay.
You know, I'm gonna have like explanations for my answer.
And you can, but there are. Hold on, let's see how many.
Hopefully I won't have an explanation for like all of them because
I have 8. I have 8 of these. So explain as much as you want.
These are heart pounding.
No, some of them are funny. Some of them are like, let me see. Hold on. No, they're honestly, it's not. Okay, you'll see. Okay, so the game is ick or turn on. So I'm going to ask you, like, is it an ick or is it a turn on if? And you're going to tell me your answer.
Okay. I'm a little crazy, so here we go.
Okay. Is it an ick or turn on if they are wanting an open relationship?
Oh, ick.
You're like, absolutely not. Kinley, shut the fuck up.
Absolutely fucking not. I don't need no explanations for that because I don't share.
Oh my god, I will go crazy. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
It's the Cancer and the Taurus in us. Okay, that's it.
No sharing.
No sharing. Okay, ick or turn on if they aren't an influencer, if they're just like a normal human being.
Oh my god, turn on, baby girl. I don't discriminate at what job you do. I don't care.
Period.
Turn on. Honestly, corporate girlies, there's something to it. Something to
You're
it.
such a dumb ass. Okay. Okay. Ick or turn on if they start planning matching tattoos by your 3rd date.
Honestly, turn on.
You're like, that is me.
Oh my god, because like, oh, it's especially if it's like right in the 3 months of like honeymoon stage, like you're obsessed with one another. It's like, oh my god, yeah, I want to get like in your skin. I love you so much. Let's get tattoos.
Yep.
Also, like, I'm covered. You don't have to convince me.
Yeah.
I'll get one. Like, I will get one.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I hear you.
No, but like, cute little matching ones, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Period. Ick or turn on if they have a dedicated TikTok account for thirst traps. But like they make money. They're making money off of those thirst traps.
Ooh.
I thought you froze at first because of how still you were.
No, it depends. Well, I mean, it depends, like, who it is. If they're making money, like, love that. I don't know if, like, see, it's not like I'm turned on by it, but it's not like an ick.
Yeah.
Because they're making money, but I'm not like, oh my god, get into bed. Like,
No.
I mean, I could be like, if thirst traps are like good, and you're like,
But
obviously I'm with you.
I also feel like if you're the type of person that doesn't like to share, you probably wouldn't like it. Like let's be honest.
It's like, honestly, like, respect. Like, you're out there like having a whole TikTok account posting thirst traps, like, you have nothing to hide. Like, good for you. Again, it's not like I'm turned on by it. I mean, again, see, I don't know.
You're like,
I don't. That one's tough.
yeah.
It's not either or.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. Yeah. Anyways.
Okay. Got you. Okay, moving on. Ick or turn on if they are bisexual.
Turn on. Oh my god, I don't discriminate. Love them. Every single one of them.
Okay.
Literally. All of them.
Okay.
I don't think it's an ick. I think it's beautiful.
Okay.
Good for you.
Okay, period. Ick or turn on if they insist on posting you on their socials on the first date. Like they're like,
Ick.
yeah.
Ick. Ick.
Because you don't know like what the intentions are.
Exactly. You have no idea. No idea. Especially if you're saying the first date or the first time. That's not good. If they're insisting, it's like, okay, why? For what?
Yeah.
Yeah, ick.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, this is the last one. Ick or turn on if they are still in contact. Like when I say in contact, I mean like they're texting their ex like every single day.
Oh, every single day.
Or like once a week.
I mean, ick.
You're
also like
so deep into these.
Oh, yeah, this one's like, you're asking a Cancer where I'm like, but well, the other person, what if the other person is feeling like, what if the ex is like, I'm thinking about like, again, this is where I put myself in other people's shoes. See, it's hard because like, what if I could speak from both sides? Like, it's hard. It's definitely not a turn on. Like, if you're the other person in that relationship and your partner is texting your ex, like, that's an ick. But like, if you're the ex, you're like, like, I'm the ex talking to their ex.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But it could be it's an ick for that person, but it could be a turn on for the ex.
But what is it to you?
I mean, which role am I playing? I mean, it's an ick. Overall, again, I won't be toxic. I'm just saying it. I will say it.
You know what's funny? I was about to say like the fact that you are able to see both sides, like it's a good thing. But I also feel like you just like it's great, but you also have to be like, okay, I'm putting myself in their shoes, but they still shouldn't be reaching out every week. Period. Like that's it.
I think deeply about questions, but that's why we have long conversations is because we like to like have depth to our conversations. Like, I'm not a surface level person, so I'm like,
yeah.
Well, let's think of it in every fucking way possible, Alyssa. And it's like one question. I'm like, okay, ick. Fine.
All right, that's it. Is there anything exciting coming up that you would like to share with the listeners, or anything? I don't know, just anything you want to share with us.
I'm running the LA Marathon.
LA Marathon.
Ooh, someone's moving. ADHD's kicking me. I'm running a marathon March 16th. And there's a lot of other cool opportunities that I am that are in the works that I can't say / don't want to jinx. So we're keeping those like under wraps. But it's going to be a big, beautiful, great, successful year. Let's just say that. And yeah, I think like the biggest thing that's very like upcoming is another marathon. So that's all I can share with you right now. I think that's all.
You're
I don't
funny.
even know what day it is. I don't know what time it is.
Okay. LA Marathon, can they come and support you?
Oh my god. Guys, if you live in LA and or are visiting LA March 16th, literally come to the marathon. Like you can stand anywhere you want. Hold a sign, make a sign. I actually saw when I had like my run club in New York the day before the marathon, when I was like on the course running and stuff, like there were people that I saw from the run club that were like screaming my name, and like I would see them. Like so if you do want to go to the marathon, like, and you know, you see me and
They
just
need to like
yell,
have a sign so you can know
yeah,
who they are.
yeah, or just yell my name and I'll be like, ah, I see you.
You should like
um
make a post like a meeting area after.
yeah, I mean, I also like I do want to do another run club like the day before the marathon, so like that Saturday, as like a little, you know, ritual for every marathon that I have now, pretty much, of a shakeout run. Come with me, a little 2 mile run. Then we'll get coffee after, which is really cute. And yeah, then after the marathon too, like, you know, I'll be probably dead. Let's definitely hang out.
Period.
Come.
Okay. And when is it? March 16th?
March 16th.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I had more questions. I mean, we touched over every single topic. I think there was like just a couple that I kind of skimmed over because it was like we kind of already touched on it. So we did good.
Again, eventually.
You will.
I feel like people are really gonna miss me. They're gonna be like, wait, what?
They're gonna be
There's
like,
not a fourth part?
no, honestly, you are always welcome to come back. If something comes up and you're like, oh my God, I want to talk about this.
Okay, fire.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so for my listeners, this is the last part. This is the last part with Alissa Butt. Like they said, you know, they will probably be back on again, you know, later
You
on
can't
down
get,
the road. Maybe you can come back on like after the LA marathon and you can talk about your experience.
yeah. It's not like literally also if they have any questions they specifically want to ask me too, like, you know, we can do a cool type of like Q&A thing like that or whatever. Like, you
That
know, like, because I know a lot of people have questions about like getting into running, fitness, like the XYZ. So instead of me like doing it on Snapchat, like it could be cool if people sent in like you specific questions about me to come on next and like just do like a Q&A thing. It'd be cool.
totally. That's actually really smart. Like, why did I not think of that? Okay, yeah. So this is not the last time you will see Alissa. But again, thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
So for my listeners, I have been posting every Monday, but now I'm moving it to Wednesdays. So now I am posting every Wednesday. So stay tuned. Have some cool people coming on. So yeah. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.